Welcome to Eternal Manna, the daily devotional teaching of Grace Gospel Church. Today we are going to look at one verse, Psalm 25 and verse 10. Now, this verse may not be a favorite of yours. I know a pastor friend, and for him, this is his life verse. So I want to introduce to you one of the greatest verses you would find in the Old Testament. Psalm 25, verse 10. All the ways of the Lord are loving and faithful toward those who keep the demands of his covenant. Now, I want to begin with a condition that is imposed before I talk about the blessing. So, what is the condition? Those and only those who keep the demands of his covenant. Our God is a God of covenant, and he wants to enter into a covenantal relationship with us. And in a covenant, both parties agree to do their part so that ultimate good will come as a result. And we can be 100% sure that God will always keep his end of the covenant. But you and I, we need to make sure that we keep our end of the covenant. So we need to know what God expects of us. We need to love what God expects of us, and we need to obey it. We need to do it. We need to put it into practice. And as we do so, as we keep our part of the covenant, what does God do? All the ways of the Lord are loving and faithful. Circle the word all. The word all means everything that happens in my life, all the sweet things and the bitter things of life. They are all expressions of God's love and faithfulness. Now, all the good things, yes, it's very easy for us to say, yeah, that's an expression of God's love and faithfulness. But how about all the bitter things of life? Could we say that they are also the expressions of his love and faithfulness? God's providential dealings with me day by day are marked by love and faithfulness. That is why the patriarch Job, when he lost it all in one 24-hour cycle of time, he was able to fall down in worship and be able to say, the Lord gave, the Lord has taken away, blessed be the name of the Lord. He was able to trace the love and faithfulness of God even in the bitterest trial of his life. Eli, the priest, when he heard some bad news, he responded by saying, it is the Lord, let him do what is good. And Eli, being an experienced man, came to the conclusion that all the ways of the Lord, even the bitter ones, are love and faithfulness. But then we have an exception, Naomi, as she went through some bitter experiences of life and she chose to return to her hometown, Bethlehem. And as the people saw her coming and they could barely recognize her for who she was, and she looked at the people and said, don't call me Naomi, which means pleasant, call me Mara, which means bitter. And then she added this qualifying statement, for the Lord has dealt bitterly with me. At least at that point, Naomi couldn't trace the love and faithfulness of God's dealings in her life. Later on, she would. And as Ruth marries Boaz, and Naomi would carry in her hand a grandson who was going to become an ancestor to the Davidic line. What joy. But at that moment, when she returned, she couldn't say, all the ways of the Lord are loving and faithful. So you and I are going to be tested, right? We are going to be tested, especially in the trials of life. Could we say, all the ways of the Lord are loving and faithful because I have kept my part of the covenant, and whatever happens to me is God's prerogative and blessed be his name. So have a good and godly day today. Amen.
For more videos like this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Grace Gospel English Church Toronto. Thank you.